Hi, I am Vicky. We are doing a video today, mostly talking, we're doing came out of the Simply Posh Gingerbread Bakery palette. I've been loving on my Simply Posh palettes, and I think that if you don't have them, you should get them. I don't have a code. I don't have any of that stuff. They're good. They're good quality. They're very nice, soft. They just are beautiful. But today, we're going to talk about what is currently a several-step process for my morning skincare routine and sunscreen. So, stay tuned. We're getting into it. This is a work in progress. Understand, I do not have foundation on. I don't have anything like that. I just did my eyes because, yeah. But, yeah, we'll talk about it. If you have suggestions for sunscreens, please list them below. I will try them if I haven't already. There's a fly in here. This is a really long introduction. I'm putting off having to take my medicine because it's going to make me feel bad. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Good morning. We're going to talk a little bit about my new, I don't want to say new, but the skincare routine that I am currently using that I am loving. When I got new contacts a few weeks ago, it was a little eye-opening to some things that I was neglecting. So, also, bouts of vertigo and being sick, kind of neglecting my skin. I'm going to tell you a few things that I use that if you have not tried, I strongly recommend, especially if you are on the mature end of the spectrum like I am. This is my morning. I use this morning and night, but this is my morning. This is the Volufiline by The Ordinary. It is the first thing that I do after I wash my face. Now, whenever I wash my face in the morning, it could be anything from a bar of Dove soap to a cleanser. It just depends on my mood, how my face feels. Sometimes everything doesn't absorb in because I use a overnight mask, so sometimes there's a little bit of stuff. So we just kind of go forward. At some point, I have to do this carefully because they will bark. At some point, I will use, I just added this about a week ago, the Dalba First Spray Serum. And it may not be just after the Volufiline. It may be a few steps later. But it's what we do. I use, this is the Argiline and Matrixyl. I mix them together. I put them on my face in the mornings. Kind of let it soak in, which is what we're doing now. I will use this rice lipids and Ecotin micro emulsion. Love this. I do use toners. I forget them more than I remember them. I forgot them this morning, so we're just going to pretend like we did. Okay, now, when you see my next updated skincare routine, you may see some of these not in the routine anymore. For right now, my skin is extremely dry. I've started using retinol, and so we are just working through and figuring out how things will work. So the last serum that I put on is a caffeine face serum and a antioxidant radiance serum. I just put a dropper full in my hand. Oh, not a dropper full. I just kind of, it's maybe the size of a dime, and I mix them both together and put them on my face. And then I use words. I've been using the Fresh Black Tea Advanced Age Renewal Eye Cream. Ordinarily, I use Daywear. This came in an Ipsy box some time ago. I got these off the Ipsy Drop Shop. I ran out of day wear, so using this one, yes, and I like it very well, very, very much. The next thing that I do after that soaks in just a little bit, I go in with my day wear. Okay, because I have started to use retinol and because it's a good ideal, my moisturizer has a little bit of SPF, but it's not enough. So because I've been playing with sunscreens for quite some time, so this is what we're doing right now. I have some more on order to try, so we're going to give this a shake, of course. This is the Blue Lizard Sheer Face, and I put about that much. It's a thin mineral sunscreen, which is what my skin prefers. But we just go and just kind of push it in. And I just take my time and just kind of get it all over really well. Do not get it in your eyeballs. It hurts, especially if you wear contacts. There's no salvaging that contact, trust me. But I just kind of take my time, and you notice that I'm doing less rubbing and pulling with my skin and more just kind of patting. The next thing that I'm going to do is the Banana Boat Baby Mineral. And you may be wondering why I'm using so many products. It's working. That's all that I can tell you. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put it on there, press it in. It's working. It's not irritating my skin. When I go outside, I'm not getting sizzle skin, so it's working. Okay, I am pressed for time this morning because the guys are on the way back from their adventure. It took me longer to get my contacts in than normal, so we're kind of fast tracking this just a little bit. But ordinarily, I would let things soak in just a little bit more. What's going to happen is that's what I'm going to do. After I do this, because this white cast, we got to do something with. And if I just put on foundation over top of this white cast, it's not going to work. So I've been using the e.l.f. Whoa Glow tinted. It's got a little bit of tint, and just do the same thing. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is a lot of steps, you're right. And if you're wondering why, it works. This is a chemical sunscreen. It irritates the ever-loving fire out of my skin. It makes my skin itch all day. So putting it on over top of the layers of mineral sunscreen seems to work. Now, once we finish up these products, it may change. Okay, had to do this off camera because, as you know, anything that sprays, they bark. They're trained to. There's a reason for that madness. Anyway, after that, I've been hitting everything with a little bit of Fix Plus, the all-day hydrating spray with vitamin C, just adding moisture, because at this point in the game, moisture is big for my skin. And as you can see right now, I kind of look like a shiny mess. What we would do at this point is go away and wait about 20 minutes. We don't have that luxury this morning. So we're going to go ahead and move through. By the time I do my eyes, this should be dried down enough to go on with the next step. Is this a lot of steps? Yes. Is it necessary for you to do all of these steps? No. It's probably not completely necessary for me to. I'm doing two things. I'm using up product, and I'm trying to keep my skin protected from the sun as best as I can, because I didn't do that for the majority of my life. So and we're starting to use retinols and stuff like that. And I have not had good luck with retinols in the past. So far, so good. So if we're being a little over, and I know. So we're going into the Simply Posh Gingerbread palette today. I have been giving my Simply Posh palettes quite a bit of love, and I am just enjoying them so very much. I took dough and went over in the crease to set up a transition shade. We're going to go into chocolate chip. We're doing one brush, pretty much. Look, because we're just kind of, all of that skin care and sunscreen and stuff that you've seen me put on my face needs to absorb in. And we're going to let it. Because like I said, ordinarily, I would just walk away from the vanity, go do a load of laundry, something, to about 20 minutes or so before I come back and finish my makeup. But I don't have 20 minutes. I have two tired fellas with loads of video for me to edit to show you. But anyway, we're down in chocolate chip, and as you can see, we're just barely tapping that into the outer corner. And we're just doing, browns on me tend to just work nicely. My mother likes it when I wear brown eyeshadow, so we will make her happy today. And we're just kind of talking through this more than anything. Just kind of, you can kind of see how this is soaking into my skin, which is what we want to happen. But we're going to go right over here into brown sugar. Same brush. Again, we wiped it off on the Sigma switch and wiped it off on a makeup eraser. So we're just going to take that on the lid. Yeah, see how that just kind of makes life so much happier on my eyes? This eye's way happy. This eye's like, where's mine? Okay, for now, this is going to be where we stop on the look. Because I wanted to go ahead and do my eyes, but I didn't do my brows. I didn't do any under eye because obviously stuff is still absorbing. What will happen, and I hear you in the comments already, what will happen if I decide to put on foundation, or even if I don't? This is an e.l.f. Invisible Sunscreen Sun Protection and Blurring Primer. I have been loving it. That's why I said, some things I'm trying to fix the white cast, because the white cast comes through my foundation. So, kind of trying to balance out everything. Will this be all of the steps in the beauty routine? No, because it is a lot. Will I find something that works that's a little bit better? Yes. But this is really nice. It's a gel. It goes on and grips onto everything nicely. Let me tell you one last thing, because we're going to just kind of end this here, and if I do foundation later, I do foundation later. I am on another steroid pack, and they make me so sick that I just probably will not put on the rest of my makeup. This is a booger, and I'm trying not to make a whole lot of movement with it for obvious reasons. It is a settings, it's a 45 broad spectrum sun protection and setting spray. Does it work like it says it does? Yes. Do not get it in your eyes. Do not. Okay? Now, for now, we're going to do one more thing. Anyway, let's read our psalm and get done with this. The Lord is gracious and full of compassion. Psalm 145:8. Video. This will probably be where we stay. This will absorb in. It'll stay a little shiny for a while. It's okay. I'm going to drink my coffee because I haven't done that yet. And yeah, see you. Bye.